The side hustle boom is happening across every age group, income level, and industry in America. And that should motivate the functional CPG space to spend extra time analyzing this cultural force. I've devoted the last 15 plus years to obsessing over every aspect of the emerging and intersecting CPG categories of functional foods, functional beverages, and nutritional supplements. That deep domain expertise has allowed me to correctly predict countless major industry events, sometimes years before they happen, and which brand will be the next breakthrough. But my favorite unlock has been this ability to see consumer behavior shifts early, model those drivers of demand out, understand what variables are moving categorical consumer markets, and match those up into actionable patterns and sequences with insane accuracy. And this content piece will act as an artistic expression of that functional CPG puzzle solving ability. Moreover, the macro shifts in consumer attributes, expectations, and behaviors that transcend the functional CPG space in this particular subject matter is near and dear to my heart. And that's because I'm the product of a side hustle. I won't bore you with all of the personal details because it's not contextually relevant, but I wouldn't be who I am or where I am today if it wasn't for a string of side hustle pursuits that began at the tail end of my undergraduate education. But while always having a side hustle felt normal to me back then, it was quite unusual, both anecdotally from my memory of friend groups, network, and through sparse data verification. Instead, that late 2000s to early 2010s era was arguably the side hustle culture starting point that grew into today's booming cultural movement, as many reports indicate a noticeable rise of side hustles following the Great Recession, particularly among older millennials. And while millennials are arguably still the side hustle generation, the maturation of the internet permeating into every nook and cranny of American life has increased the side hustle accessibility. During the last few years, just slightly below 40% of adult Americans have a side hustle, and percentages closer to 50% with millennials and Gen Z. And I don't want to breeze over those generational statistics because it's wild when you stop and think through that consumer behavior shift. That means almost half of America spent time recently picking up jobs on gig worker apps, freelancing, working a weekend job, or developing a passionate hobby into their full time career. But also consider that the vast majority of side hustlers started in the last several years since the Great Shutdown. Based on what I mentioned about side hustle activity rising during a previous recession, that would make sense. But I'm more interested in drawing attention to the nuanced differences between those two market events, ones that could provide tailwinds and stickiness to this trend. Firstly, the side hustle boom happening across every age group in America makes one thing very clear: entrepreneurship is no longer a one size fits all journey. Next, the Great Shutdown provided a taste of working from home and allowed people to get comfortable working more flexible hours. Thirdly, after a recessionary period, people typically spend less money. But the opposite has proven true after the Great Shutdown, with sharp cost of living inflation driving consumer spending higher, thus dwindling savings and causing higher credit card debt for the average American household. But while that pursuit of extra money sounds like necessity over enjoyment, that would overlook the motivations by today's most likely multiple income seekers. Yes, US households with incomes of more than $100,000 are also struggling with rising costs around housing and childcare, as an example, but many of them are funding simple leisure activities like going out to eat and vacations. And though I wouldn't necessarily call that the extreme version of keeping up with the Joneses, there are many that fall economic victims of lifestyle creep, wherein the more money you make, the more you're tempted to spend. But maybe that's the reality of today's side hustlers, devoted to finding extra money to spend no matter the state of the economy. The beauty of a side hustle is that it looks different on everyone. And because of that, each journey becomes unique as the person pursuing it. Almost anyone can create, as an example, a Fiverr, TaskRabbit, eBay, or Etsy account, take online surveys, be an online personal assistant, deliver people, packages, food, and I could keep going on. But side hustling doesn't need to be this all or nothing pursuit. Instead, each side hustle is a self guided opportunity for personal and professional development, allowing you to start and grow at your own speed or even think about it episodically. And if US households who don't need side hustles to pay the bills still have them anyways, that's probably a decent indicator that the trend is here to stay. Regardless, it's easier than ever to make money in your spare time. And that's a central reason why I believe side hustling will become even more popular. So, then, how does this profound shift in how people approach work, income generation, and time impact the emerging and intersecting CPG categories of functional foods, functional beverages, and nutritional supplements? And I'm going to try avoiding broad stroke categorical impacts, instead, focusing on a few physical, mental need states connected to this consumer segmentation. Because while today's side hustlers are flipping the script on the typical 9 to 5 grind, that second income stream still means working more hours. And obviously, time and energy aren't infinite. When you're working full time, one must get creative to find the time for a side hustle. And the majority of them work on their side hustle in the evenings from 5 to 9 to avoid interfering with their regular job. So, with that day planning default information as a baseline, the first side hustle boom opportunity need state is what I'm calling focus and flow. These would be the side hustlers that are looking for energy and or nootropic products because they serve as a possible mechanism to achieve more within their daily lives. Since we live in the age of the endless aisle, where there are more options in every CPG category than during any other point in history, side hustlers are no longer conditioned to purchase the typical high caffeine content energy drinks or coffee. Looking for the total package, side hustlers will choose their own adventure format wise, but also increasingly reach for low or no caffeine products that are packed with brain energy ingredients to provide a physical and mental boost. That means brands targeting the focus and flow side hustler need state should be positioned within the intersections of clean and performance energy, physical and cognitive performance, but also having an innovative thoughtfulness to the ingredient deck. A few examples of this would be the productivity focused brand, Newtonic, that was co founded by an extremely popular multi platform creator in the personal development niche, Chris Williamson. With the recent launch of Brain Capsules, they've provided side hustlers with the perfect format optionality to maintain top tier mental performance all day, every day. Additionally, and this is an energy drink that I talked about previously, but I believe Bum Energy made a few great decisions on the liquid in the can, starting with its simple composition of natural caffeine and the brain boosting functional ingredient cognizant. Along with that, Bum Energy chose 112 milligrams of caffeine, the same amount as an average 12-ounce cup of coffee, and wrapped everything up in delightfully light flavors, giving the consumer optionality to drink more than one can throughout the day without overstimulation or flavor fatigue. And then another interesting example that's targeting these focus and flow side hustlers would be a new supplement brand called Mind Valley States. If the name sounds vaguely familiar, though, it's because this is a product line extension of Mind Valley, the popular platform dedicated to unlocking human potential. But beyond enjoying their ability to leverage that life transformation platform strategy, the Focus product formula is very well composed and includes Infinity. That's becoming extremely popular with consumers looking for an increase in energy without the typical jittery crash. And since Mind Valley is big on the power of meditations, maybe this is a good transition into examining the second side hustle boom opportunity need state that I'm calling relax, don't burn out. I've already mentioned my side hustle history, so I'm never going to be the guy that says hustle culture is toxic because I believe working your ass off, increasing your productivity, and dedicating yourself to work can create unparalleled upside if you're optimizing for career success. But it's also true that many people found out hustle culture mixed with a chaotic economic environment during these last several years can at times lead to paying a huge personal price, as your brain and body weren't built to handle the continuous physical and physiological stressors. So these would be the side hustlers that are looking for relaxation and or mood support products because they serve as a possible mechanism to minimize burnout syndrome. That means brands targeting the relax, don't burn out side hustler need state should be positioned within the intersections of mood and stress support, relaxed hydration, and having an innovative thoughtfulness to their ingredient deck. And I'll start with one of my longtime favorite brands as an example, as Recess has arguably become the relaxation category creator and market leader. Looking for the total package, Recess provides side hustlers with a choose your own adventure, whether that's with a variety of formats, line extensions, or use occasions. And then a great and fun product example would be Lemmy Chill Gummies that utilizes a clinical dose of KSM 66 ashwagandha, which is an ingredient that has been used for thousands of years to support stress and relaxation. And then the final side hustle boom opportunity need state that I wanted to examine is what I'm calling sweet dreams. Sleep matters a lot and is truly an interdisciplinary aspect of our health, impacting every process in the body and affecting our physical and mental functioning the next day. Yet, if I was tasked to describe in one word the current state of sleep in America, I would use lackluster, as 78% of Americans are trying to improve their sleep this year. And to connect this one to the last need state, the chance of a bad night's sleep increases by almost double when a person has an elevated stress level. While it's silly to think that we can totally eliminate stress from our lives entirely, sweet dreams would be the side hustlers that are looking for support beyond the implementation of healthier daily routines to improve sleep and efficiency. Living in the age of endless aisle plays a key role here, as the sweet in Sweet Dreams need state naming convention is referencing the growing connection between sleep support and indulgent snacking categories. Yes, sleep support is still a very niche segment within the ready to eat and ready to drink formats, but this is a skate where the puck is going kind of thing. That being said, there are a number of brands that are remixing products like hot chocolate beverages or chocolate candies by infusing them with calming botanicals. But I just wanted to end with some quick final thoughts. In today's evolving economy, more Americans than ever are embracing side hustles, not just as a source of supplemental income, but to build new skills that can be leveraged to advance their careers or eventually lead to working full time for themselves. With side hustle culture broadening and maturing significantly since my first endeavor almost 2 decades ago, it inevitably will create significant opportunities for portions of the emerging and intersecting CPG categories of functional foods, functional beverages, and nutritional supplements, but only if they're paying attention. But I hope you enjoyed the first principles thinking that went into my latest YouTube video. If you did, can you do me a favor by hitting that like button? That quick and free action helps YouTube know my content is worth spreading to more people. Also, we're getting really close to reaching my next subscriber goal, and it would be great if you join me on this journey. But to do that, we need to fix the fact that slightly more than three-fourths of you that are watching this video right now are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, and that hurts my feelings. Regardless, I want to thank you for giving me some of your attention and time, and I'll see you on the next one.